Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone. It's your boy Mr. Degenerate back here again for another video, and this is gonna be a semi-quickie, unedited fucking video. I'm just spit firing right here. Let's talk about this recent controversy, this recent discussion slash controversy Max seemed to got himself into. For those that don't know who Maximilian is, he is a YouTuber, content creator, is what I like to call the daddy of fighting games, the grandpa of fighting games. This man is a beautiful man. Uh, I love Max. He has done a lot for the fighting game community and inspiring many people to enjoy and just embrace fighting games. This man is the man. Like, just everything about him, I appreciate. In fact, I would say, he is the reason why I started doing content creating. So I owe a lot to Maximilian. So if he ever watches this video, which he's not, but if he ever watches this fucking video, thank you, Max. Because if it wasn't for you and your assist me videos, I wouldn't be here. But recently, Max said some controversial shit. He said some hot takes, and at first I wasn't gonna comment on it, but I said fuck it. Let me throw my hat into this because I think I have a very unique take as a casual fan. So, the biggest thing he came out and said was that please make fighting games free to play. It was like a 3-minute video, and then he did a follow-up video recently called Fighting Games Are Expensive. Now, I've watched the second video just a little bit. I didn't fully watch it, so I'm not... if I'm sounding like I'm repeating stuff from that video, or he's already touched on the topic, please forgive me. But in this video in particular, he was talking about like fighting games should be having a free to play model. And automatically, I didn't even look on Twitter. I just watched the video. I didn't scroll through the comment section. But I watched the video, and the first thing I saw was the dislike button. It was the dislike, and it was really rough. The dislike was really rough when I saw it. I was like, oof. Oof, they were coming after my boy. They were fucking doing some sumo slams on my boy Max. So I was like, shit. I already know why people was upset. I didn't even have to fucking watch the video. I already knew why people was upset. And reading through these comments, I think the biggest echo that was coming through a lot of people disagreement or issue with Max's take is monetization and the monkey's paw effect of free-to-play games. You look at it with every single free-to-play games nowadays, they have a notorious bad rap of monetization. Like, you go at Genshin Impact developers, and even some of my friends have told me how horrible the microtransactions or the monetization has been for that game. You look at Lost Ark, you look at all these free-to-play games that are just stuffed with horrible monetization. And to have that happen to a fighting game is the most irritating shit when you're just trying to play matches and have fun with a game. And to go into a tweet I had, I said, basically echoing what I was saying, is that, I think the main reason, after reading so much of the comment section, I think the real problem people is having is that it really just, I posted to say with my apologies for my badass fucking dyslexic ass fucking writing. But basically what I'm trying to say in this is that they're scared of monetization because to be honest, most of these companies are just nickel and diming fans nowadays. So imagine if the game was free to play. In layman's terms, basically everyone's scared because of microtransaction, monetization. And so I said that tweet because I really felt like that was the echoing of what people were saying in this. And ultimately, I actually kind of agree with Max. I think we should try and do free to play. But like I just said earlier, there's a monkey paw situation. That if you do free to play fighting games, there's ultimately going to be some cutbacks or some really fundamental dumbbells. And I think the perfect game I have as a Tekken fan, and Tekken fans know what the fuck I'm talking about. As a Tekken fan, I remember a free to play fighting game from Tekken. It was called Tekken Revolution. And holy shit, that has some really bad monetization, and that game was fucking broken. And so, for anybody that doesn't remember, back in the PS3 era, they had a game that was called Tekken Revolution, and Tekken Revolution was like a stripped down version of the Tekken Tag Tournament system, but it was free to play. And I think that was the kind of a response of how people didn't like Tekken Revolution. So that game came out. It was free to play, and it had a system that was kind of trying to go back to like arcade roots, where you had 2 tickets. In the game, you had 2 tickets, and you put in your ticket, and then you play online. And the only way to play online, to get a ticket, you had to win a couple of matches and you get another ticket. If you have lost, you lose a ticket. If you keep losing, you lose a ticket, and eventually, if you have none, the game will halt you and be like, well, you ran out of tickets, you have to wait 30 minutes. The more you lost, you had to wait even more. So it would be 30 minutes or an hour or even more so, depending on how much games you lost. And the only way to circumvent that was to purchase fucking purchase with real money more tickets. That was their gimmick on how to get you to play the game more. And from a casual standpoint, you would be like, oh, well, that's kind of cool because it harkens back to the old ways of fighting game, where it's like, oh, you got your ass beat, well, go back into training mode, learn the game, learn the mechanics, learn everything. However, in some cases, it was a fucking nightmare because the game was horribly unbalanced in the sense that I believe in the game they had kind of like an RPG element to the game, which was kind of like, I believe it was, they had stats that were power. One was power that increases your the hit points, the damage you gave out to people. They had endurance, if I'm not mistaken. Endurance was how much health you had and how much hits you could take. And then you had vigor, and vigor was really important because vigor was how increases your chances of getting critical hits, just like an RPG. And basically, critical hits were like these random shits that would happen where it would do even more damage. So not only did you have rage, you had power, and then you had these random critical hits. And some cases, you would get hit by 3 to 4 critical fucking 3 to 4 critical hits, and your whole life was completed. Not to mention characters like Kazuya had like these simple ass fucking like armored moves. In Tekken 7 there's these armor attacks. I forgot the name of them. Please forgive me, Tekken fans. But in Revolution, they were like these invincible moves, and you could not escape them. They give you free hit. So all you went online and do was spam that invincible attack. In Tekken 7, they streamlined it way better, and if you get hit too many times, it'll break the armored move. But in this, they made it invincible. So people would just go online and just spam it. Not to mention, people would hack the fucking game and just do some random bullshit, which is like increase the damage increase your power to like two. I think the max level was like 200, and so that was like an instant kill for anybody. um, Online lobbies were trash. Uh, I'm trying to remember based off of uh, memory. Just a lot of dumb shit. So that was the monetization for the game, and it was horrible. So every single minute you would be in the fucking waiting, just waiting. And so the only way to really proceed in that game was to buy fucking ticket. Buy a ticket. And it was so fucking annoying. Not to mention, God forbid you had a favorite character and they weren't already unlocked. You had to fucking do some you better pray to your fucking, you better do what Max is doing. Pray to your fucking elder gods, to the Tekken lords, that you got the character you want. Because there was no way to like it wasn't like a Dead or Alive situation where okay, we have 4 characters, but yet you can choose which one you want to pick. You can, and then purchase that character. No, it was random. All the characters that were unlocked were fucking random. So it was fucking irritating. So God forbid your favorite character, like, so for instance, for me, fucking Steve Fox. Steve Fox is my boy. God forbid you're a Steve Fox player and that motherfucker's locked. You're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked. You better play fucking Kazuya. You better play somebody else because you're fucked. Unless you get extremely fucking lucky on your roll. So that was kind of like the monetization portion of the game. But the only thing, it fucked. It was fucked as all hell. So yeah, that was a perfect game of showing you how bad monetizations and how free-to-play games can go batshit insane and crazy. I think another one, and this is more for like cosmetics, but it still applies. Dead or Alive 5 and 6 corner fighters, in particular 6. Dead or Alive 6 does something really cool, which is like they give you 4 free characters, but the rest of the character slots were locked, and you had to purchase those characters individually or in a pack. And that was a cool idea. Because as a casual, I'm gonna be honest, you're probably gonna, as casuals, we pick characters we like. I always have this philosophy in my head where it's like, I don't pick characters off of, who's the strongest. I pick characters who looks the coolest, who does moves the coolest, or just fits my personality as a person. So, God forbid, you wanted, like, let's just say, I think Ryu Hayabusa. Well, you have to purchase Ryu Hayabusa. I don't think he was free. And so, in the games, you would usually just play that one particular character. And so you would just play with that character for a while. And that's how kind of casuals kind of play. We don't play with multiple characters in mind like other people, like, oh, we're going to test out this character and see how this matchup is going to go. No, we just play the characters we enjoy and that's it. So that was a clever idea. However, the monetization for that was also kind of busted because of how they handled season passes and how they did costumes. Now, granted, you can argue and make the argument, well, they can't, they have to monetize the games and it's just cosmetic, but when you literally, there's no option other than just fucking play. You have to pay to get those costumes. It was irritating, and you had to spend mad bread just to get costumes. There's probably a way to select certain costumes, but I wouldn't know. But it was fucking annoying how they handled monetizations in that game as well, which made I believe Dead or Alive go down the drain was because of this monetization. Like, people was not taking that game serious, even though it had a clever how they handled monetization was pretty cool, but it just was so much nickel and diming of that game. Another positive I'll give about that game before we move on is every week or every 2 weeks or so, they would have like a special event, and you would get that character. You would get like 2 to 3 characters were free for a certain amount of time, and it was kind of interesting. But again, the monetization for that game was horrible. It was fucking horrible. And so I think why everyone's upset about this is, of course, like I said before, monetization and just no one finding out the right way. Now, I've heard Killer Instinct has great monetization, but the fact of the matter is that's one out of how many companies have done monetization for a free-to-play fighting game, and it was fucking horrible. Like it is horrible. And I think that's the main crux of why people's upset, because we don't trust these fucking companies. like, could you imagine if fucking Street Fighter 6 come out and is like, it's free to play? Well then, look at how they treated Street Fighter fucking 5. You know, Street Fighter 5 was originally supposed to allow you to get every single character, all the DLC characters, for free if you just play the game. Well, now let's apply that to Street Fighter 6. Well, to unlock, let's throw a character out there. So to unlock Cammy, you have to play, 50 to 100 matches in order to play Cammy. You're going to be like, what the fuck? Online matches, mind you. Online matches to get Cammy. Or there's a point system, you have to get this amount in order to have enough points to unlock him. Most of these companies are going to be like, well, we're going to make the struggle and the grind extremely hard for you to get that character. Or you could give us like fucking $10, $5 for just to unlock Candy. And it's like, Like, that's the shit people are worried about. It's like, what? Like, monetization for these fucking free games is horrible. Like, companies will rip you off. And it's annoying. It's really fucking annoying. That being said, I would say I actually would not mind a free-to-play game. But no company has shown how a free-to-play game should work. Other than maybe Killer Instinct. I do think a free-to-play, the League of Legends game that's coming out, I do think if that's free-to-play, it could kind of work. But then, again, you're still running into that problem of how we're going to monetize it. And most of these fucking companies monetize shit so fucking horrible. And, you know, just going off of the tag of what Max said in his other video of fighting games being expensive as a hobby, I agree. And that's why I ultimately think a free-to-play game would be interesting. Because, let's be real, you paying so much fucking money already just for fucking fighting games already. So enough of this whole $60 shit. No, you're paying around like $100+ for a game, because you got to take into consideration the season pass. So every fighting game for the most part comes with season pass 1. And you have to pay, like, that's probably $80 to $90 more if you want the season pass 1. Then costume packs. Then season pass 2. Then stages. Then season pass 3. Depending on how much seasons we go, we get like 4 seasons if we're lucky. So you already meet your max criteria of the $60 purchase. And again, going back to what I said about casuals, so many casuals are not going to play certain characters. Some of the times you're going to be wasting fucking money. You know, like, let's use I'm going to use a fighting game. Let's use Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear Strive. Nagori Yugi and Baiken are the only 2 characters I like in that game. Everybody else is whatever to me. Like, let's be real. 2 out of how many characters is in that game? Like, And if we really want to stretch it down even further, let's just go with Nogori Yugi. Before Baiken came out, Nogori Yugi was the only character I was touching. It's like, is that enough to make people consider paying $60? Plus, you gotta remember, people's gonna have to go online because some fighting games, and let's be real about newer fighting games, do not have. And I repeat this. Let me repeat this for you fucking fighting game fans out here. You hardcore fighting game fans that go to tournament and whatnot. $60 for modern day fighting games is not enough for what the fuck they're offering. They're not offering enough. Like, some of these fighting games are very bare bones at the minimum. Like, fuck me. You look at some of what the games are offering is ridiculous. Look at fucking Tekken. Not Tekken. Let's look at King of Fighters. The newest King of Fighters. I think it's 15. That game has some of the bare bonus shit I've ever seen in a fighting game. He's like, yeah, there's a story mode, but it's kind of bare bones. Everything about that game screams bare bones. That's our arcade at its finest. And that's just not good enough for games. Look at Vanilla Street Fighter 5. That had only training mode, maybe, what is it, a tutorial, maybe like, tutorial mode, a little few, like one little survival mode, and then online. And again, going back to my point, not everybody wants to go online. You know, nobody wants to get blown up and be discouraged to playing a fucking fighting game. You know, that's what happens. You know, you get blown up so much fucking times. You know, you get discouraged. And I do not want to hear this whole, oh, we'll get good mentality, because at a casual level, you're just trying to play for fun. There is not. Y'all need to stop this whole mentality that everyone's trying to be evil people, like, or trying to just play, just trying to be a great fighting game player. Like, no, some people just want to have fun. And a lot of these games do not offer a lot of content to just have fun. The only fucking fighting game, in my honest opinion, that genuinely, and I repeat, genuinely goes above and beyond for casuals and also hardcore fighting game fans is NRS, aka Mortal Kombat 11. Or matter of fact, the whole NRS line of fighting games from Injustice to Mortal Kombat. The amount of content that's in those games is fucking ridiculous for a $60 price tag. Not only are you getting high, rich story content, you're getting time attack, you're getting fucking Survivor, arcades with arcade endings. You are also getting tower mode that comes with different parameters, different cool shit. In Mortal Kombat, if I'm not mistaken, in Mortal Kombat 11 and in Injustice 2, you're getting the gear system that makes your characters look completely however you want them to make them look. And just so much cool shit. And then, don't even get me started on the DLCs. You have guest characters from popular franchise. I literally bought the season pass for Mortal Kombat 11 just so I can play Spawn. Just so I can play Spawn. Because I love Spawn. That's some shit that would make a casual fan purchase your game because of how much rich content there is. None of these newer fighting games nowadays offer that shit. Maybe Tekken 7? But even then, that content is a little iffy because there's treasure mode, and then you have to pay for fucking bowling, which is dumb. There is a story mode. The story mode is take it however you wish. I think the story mode is pretty fun, but voice acting kind of sucks. Yeah, like, just bare bone shit nowadays. So having a free-to-play game where you can choose and pick how to, how you want your game to fit you would be nice. I just feel like we have not reached that level yet to figure it out. We have not figured out a company that's going to give us that. You know, we've not reached that point where fighting games are gonna give us that. You know, not gonna monetize the fans. You know, I think that's the biggest fear is monetization. You know, I think we can do a lot of great things with free to play games, uh, especially in the fighting game. In a sense, and especially since if it's free to play, then that means anybody can jump in, and at any time and at any period, newcomers can always jump in. But you know, nobody, nobody, nobody has successfully done it. And I don't know when somebody's going to successfully do it. Other maybe Virtual Fighter. If they do Virtual Fighter 6, maybe if it made it free to play, maybe that would work. But who knows? Who knows? Who fucking knows? I don't know. And I think you know you want to look at it from this point of view. Which company would you even trust to do it? Because I already said Namco slash the Tekken team. They tried it, and I don't know if I would trust them again with it. Capcom, I sure as hell don't trust with that shit. Uh, they're the worst people. They need to figure out how to get that fucking that Shoot Fighter 6 ready before they even talk about anything other than that. Anything. Make a great game first, and then you can come back to me. Um, I don't know. But overall, I think Max Hart was in the right place, but you know, and it is an interesting idea, but at the end of the day, until a company comes in and really show, like, yeah, monetization, it's not going to be bad, and free to play fighting games is where it's at. I don't see people's going to really be into free to play fighting games, but that's just me. Hopefully, I'm wrong. But anywho, I think I'm gonna just end this video. Uh, if you're new to the channel, please comment, rate, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and let me know what you think. Should we do free to play fighting games or not? Let me know. Anywho, I'm gonna be out of this. Catch you in the next video. Peace out.